this over to the Executive Director of Global Federation of Animal Sanctuaries, Valerie Taylor.
Thank you, Robin, and hello and welcome to everybody here today. As Robin said, my name is Valerie Taylor, and I am the Executive Director for the Global Federation of Animal Sanctuaries. I'm joined here in my hosting duties today by Dr. Alan Kornberg, who is our current Global Federation Board Chair. Of course, many of you know or have worked with Alan as he's served in many different capacities for Gfas since 2012. Dr. Kornberg is a pediatrician who has practiced both primary care and emergency pediatrics. He's also served as the executive director of the U.S. World Animal Protection and as executive director for Farm Sanctuary. He wears many hats with many different organizations currently, but as medical director for Physicians Association for Nutrition USA, where he champions the promotion of plant-based diets. Gfas, of course, is beyond grateful to Alan for his leadership and dedication, and I'm so delighted to have Alan as my co-host today. We'd just like to thank everybody for joining us today and taking the time to watch this really special virtual presentation of the annual Carole Noon and Outstanding Sanctuary Awards.
Well, thanks, and I'm thanks for that very kind introduction. And as Valerie said, I've been part of Gfas since 2012 when I was executive director at Farm Sanctuary, and been on the board for a long time. I've been interim executive director for a year as well. So it's a real pleasure to be here, and it's a pleasure to be part of the Carole Noon presentation. And also, it's our second year to have Outstanding Sanctuary Awards from the four key segments that we work on together. It's in some ways, I mean, there's been 101 horrible things about, as pediatricians say, this virus that's been going around the last almost year and a half now, starting with all the death and devastation. But it is the fact that all of us have gotten even more used to virtual meetings, and for an organization whose first name is global, of course we've done virtual presentations in the past, but the fact that everybody is sort of the MO that we all do now. In some ways, for this kind of awards presentation, it is even further enabling. So again, delighted to be here. I will do some of the introductions as we go along. The Gfas staff, as you will get to meet, those of you who don't know, all of our staff are all extraordinary and beyond highly qualified, and starting with Valerie, who's really taken Gfas from a pretty darn good place and to the next level. So it's just an honor to be part of this team, and I'll pass things back to Valerie for now. Thanks.
So before we get to the awards themselves, I'd just like to introduce the Gfas Award Committee. The award committee is comprised of past Carole Noon Award recipients and members of the Gfas Board of Directors who review all the nominations and make a recommendation. The full Gfas Board of Directors then makes the final selections. In 2021, this committee was comprised of Sue Leary, who is our committee chair, Dr. Alan Kornberg, Bill Nimmo, Adam Roberts, and of course our past Carole Noon Award recipients. Gfas was so excited to receive hundreds of inspiring submissions honoring individuals and sanctuaries, rescues, rehabilitation, and transition centers from all over the world for the 2021 Carole Noon and Outstanding Sanctuary Awards. I know that all the committee members will certainly agree with me that they were quite moved by the dedication, innovation, and excellence in animal care read about in all the submissions. So thank you again for participating in the 2021 Global Federation of Animal Sanctuaries Award process.
All right. Well, it's back to me now, and thanks again, Valerie. That Gfas picture of mine with the sheep is not the picture that I use when I work in clinics and emergency departments. It makes all the sense here at Gfas, as Farm Sanctuaries has been my connection to, at least initially, to Gfas, and of course I'm quite engaged as a board member with our equine and wildlife programs as well. So let me just start off so you can see, and we will have the Carole Noon Award as the at the end of our hour, which I think most of us know about, and that's our in some ways our marquee individual award that Valerie and Kathy Stevens, our immediate as of an hour or so from now, she will be our immediate past recipient. And so we will be presenting awards for our 4 key segments: the Outstanding Equine Sanctuary, the Outstanding Farmed Animal Sanctuary, the Outstanding Wildlife Sanctuary, and for Gfas, we are quite global, and we do have sanctuaries that are certified by us around the world, but we still, the majority of our sanctuaries are in North America, and so we specifically have an international sanctuary award as well. And I think without much further ado, but I think as most people know here, for us the word sanctuary is a key and critical word, and used by us to be all about the animals. That's what we all do in stewardship, to do the best we can for animals that temporarily or for a lifetime can no longer be in their natural environment. So sanctuaries can provide lifetime care. There are rescues that um, um, act as provide outstanding care for a time period, and then serve to adopt animals to a forever home, in some ways parallel to, as we think about companion animals, and certainly a key activity, especially on the equine side of things, but for all of our sanctuaries. And then there are a good number of rehabilitation facilities that are part of Gfas, and we use the word sanctuary really as an overriding umbrella term, and those are and who may provide lifetime care for some wildlife that can't be returned to the wild, and then also work hard with success to enable rescued wildlife to heal and be returned to the wild. So we will do these 4 awards and then end with the Carole Noon Award. Let me start then on the equine side. As you can see, that's the first of the 4 Outstanding Sanctuary Awards. So I'll introduce Daryl Tropia, who is our Equine Program Director. She joined Gfas 2011, even before before me. She's been at more than 200 site visits all around North America, and has worked with the ASPCA and the Equine Fund. She's really a world expert. Has offered dozens of workshops around equine care and rescue. She has lifetime interest in all things equine. She has her, as a Canadian, she has completed her equine science degree at Guelph University, and has, aside from the sanctuary side of things, many horsemanship skills, and competed in many events. She currently lives in North Carolina, and wears a number of hats in equine world beyond Gfas, and Gfas remains, and we're delighted, her primary home with us. I'd also mention that Daryl has undergraduate degrees, besides her training in equine science and nutrition, in nursing and psychology. And she first started working with with Native Canadian communities, providing primary health care and midwifery obstetrical care. Um, she's also a scientist, and works in healthcare outcomes research and quality improvement, quality assurance in healthcare. Has a master's degree in education, and I'm almost done. But Daryl's bio is ridiculous. Has a PhD in the epidemiology and biostatistics. From the University of Toronto, and for someone who, as a pediatrician, dabbles in science and peer review work, Daryl on paper can be intimidating for me. Well, she's not intimidating at all in person. So, without much further ado, then let me pass the talking stick on to Daryl to present the Outstanding Equine Sanctuary of 2021. Daryl?
Yikes. Thank you. Thank you, Alan, for that. Thank you. Yikes. Mouthful. I am very honored to be able to present this award for Outstanding Equine Sanctuary to Skydog Sanctuary, led by founder Claire Staples and her dedicated team. Established in 2016, this organization has provided a forever home to over 100 equines. Their mission is to provide lifelong care for wild burros and Mustang horses who once roamed freely on public lands with their families and bands, only to end up at risk and in dangerous situations. But miraculously, Skydog Sanctuary has been able to reunite several wild horse families that were separated during the Bureau of Land Management roundups. And a nominee has said that Claire and her team's expertise and leadership, recognizing the importance of equine families, is only but one example of Skydog Sanctuary's provision of the highest level of humane and responsible equine care. These horses and burros live out their lives with the utmost respect, care, and kindness on a magnificent 9,000-acre ranch in Oregon, as well as 2 smaller sanctuaries in California. And the care of wild or feral equines must include attention to facility design. And Skydog Sanctuary has the natural environment, has the fencing, movement corridors, shelters, and special handling equipment to design to minimize the stress and meet the special needs of these wonderful animals. Skydog Sanctuary's organization model, their proven crisis management, and inspirational success equates to unquestionable sustainability of this sanctuary for years to come. And in addition to excellent care, Claire and her team have a large and vibrant online advocacy presence where they spotlight national issues surrounding wild mustangs and burros. And every animal at the sanctuary has a unique story, and Skydog Sanctuary's team are the narrators, ensuring that we all hear those stories. So congratulations to a truly outstanding equine sanctuary, Skydog. I know that Claire was very excited about this award, and she really wanted to have the opportunity to say something. But you know, she's in Oregon, like I said, on a very large piece of property, so has internet issues.
Well, thank you to Daryl and Claire, and it sounds like we'll be hearing back from Claire in just a moment. So I think we'll move on. I'm going to hand it back to Alan for the 2021 Outstanding Farmed Animal Sanctuary
Thanks,
Award.
Val. So I now have the honor and distinction of introducing our next program director, Jessica Harris, who's our farmed animal program director. Jess joined Gfas as staff earlier this year, beginning of this year, after working with us in multiple capacities on both our farmed and equine side of the house since 2019 as a volunteer. So arguably was a 2-year job interview, which just beyond aced, and Valerie and I and everyone else are beyond delighted that she's been able to join us as a colleague now. Jess is a lifelong animal advocate with over 15 years of experience in animal welfare and veterinary fields. Her first shelter experience was at a municipal shelter in the southeast U.S. It forever solidified her dedication to homeless animals and her lifelong commitment to improving their lives. Since then, she's worked in a variety of municipal and private shelters, both, including a manager of a cat shelter in the greater Boston area, with a particular emphasis and interest in shelter medicine and shelter program models. She's a vet tech, as I think my comments imply, and she's been doing that for over a dozen years and serving as a vet tech in general and specialty practice. I also mentioned that Jess lives not quite down the street from me, but she's in Providence and I'm in Southeast Mass, so we're pretty close in New England. Going to farmed animal work, and she is now our farmed animal program director. She spent several years doing grassroots and statewide advocacy with both the Humane League and the Humane Society of the United States. Her connection to the animals then led her to work directly with rescued farm animals as a volunteer and an intern, both at Farm Sanctuary, where I was ED for a while, and at the Piedmont Farmed Animal Rescue in North Carolina. And all of these experiences have even further instilled a lifelong commitment to healing, support, learning, and respect for farm animals and all of our companion living creatures. Education-wise, Jess has her BA from North Carolina State and has a master's in animals and public policy. Really an crazy outstanding program at the Tufts Vet School. Um, um, and without further ado, then I'll pass on the outstanding farm animal Sanctuary of 2021 to Jessica Harris. Thanks, Jess.
Hey, everybody. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can. Thanks, Jess.
Okay, awesome. Hey, everybody. So good to see you. I'm Jess Harris, and it is my absolute privilege to present this award today. Staff and crew, just want to give you guys a big wave before I keep going. I want to share a brief story with you guys about Pasado's Safe Haven, which is this year's outstanding farm sanctuary, and why I feel lucky to work alongside them. Pasado's has been accredited with Gfas since 2018, so this year we worked through renewing their accreditation. As part of their renewal, I sent my colleague to visit their facility and take photos of the sanctuary, all the additions they had made. Now, I should pause here to say that these site visit photos we take are usually technical. Think less cute goats, although I have to give Smudgy a goat shout out, and more fire extinguishers, fencing, operating manuals. Safe to say they don't usually bring me to tears. But as I flipped through the pictures from Pasado's, I found myself crying. Happy tears. As I looked through those images, I did see goats and fences and wiring, and in that, countless signs of Pasado's devotion to their animals. Beautiful, clean, well-constructed barns and houses, crates and evacuation kits for every single animal to maximize their safety in an emergency. A kitchen and dedicated enrichment fridge that I wish I had at my house, and procedures and records meticulously detailed for each resident. This in itself a safeguard to make sure their animals are always cared for. Now, I know some of you are thinking I have been staring at paperwork too long if this is what brings me to tears. Fair enough. But what I saw in that paperwork, in the enrichment facilities, in the attention to detail was devotion. Devotion to the very species that are so minimized and forgotten, hidden away by the animal agriculture industry, who are treated as products and killed by the billions without a second thought. So yes, a sanctuary who treats those animals as individuals deserving of all the careful planning and dedication that Pasado's exhibits is such a stark contrast that it brought me to tears. It showed what's possible for farmed animals if we can shift the paradigm. It showed the power that true sanctuaries hold to change that paradigm for animals. And while Pasado's goes above and beyond for their residents, don't think they're happy to stop there. Perhaps equally striking is their unflinching advocacy and outreach programs, which span not only farmed animal species, but all animals. Through billboard campaigns, legislative work, educational tours, and more, they work to target the root causes that land animals in sanctuary. They have built their community up around a shared intolerance for animal cruelty and put all their resources into ending it. It is with great pleasure and probably a few tears in my eyes to present Pasado's Safe Haven of Washington the 2021 Outstanding Farm Sanctuary Award. Congratulations and thank you.
Thank you so much, Jess.
I'm here with a lot of our team today. So our education and advocacy director is here, our facilities director, many of our caregivers, our animal care manager, our volunteer coordinator, and none of this is possible without all of us working together. And we're all here for these animals. And I also have to take a moment to say that our executive director, Laura, could not be here, and she was really upset about that. And I am told to pass along her extreme gratitude over receiving this award as well. So, for us, it's been 29 years since Posado, the donkey who we're named after, was tortured and killed. 28 years since Posado's law was passed, making animal cruelty a felony in Washington. And this organization has been, for 24 years now, been rescuing animals, countless animals, training law enforcement to recognize cruelty, welcoming children and guests to our facility to learn a more compassionate lifestyle and be able to make a connection with these animals. And we are so lucky to have such an amazing staff and support and supporters to be able to do this work. And every day we get to see the change that's made, and we're very blessed to be able to do that. And I'm extremely grateful to Gfas for holding us to these high standards. And this award means a lot to us because we are in such amazing company of other farm sanctuaries, other organizations that do an amazing job at being a voice for the animals. And it gives me hope for our future, for people to recognize them as individuals and not as commodities, with everybody working together. That's all. Now I'm going to cry.
Well, thank you. Thank you to both Jessica, and thank you to Stephanie for all that you do on behalf of the animals. Back to Alan for our next Outstanding Sanctuary Award.
Good to hear your voice. So, well, I'll take the half of my MC activities back now, and we'll next introduce Jackie Bennett, who's Gfas's program director for Africa and Asia. I also would just acknowledge briefly, several of us have talked about tears of joy and tears of recognition and acknowledgement, and that is there's much of that here and every day. It is one of the challenges, of course, of a virtual presentation. I recall it was probably 4 or 5 years ago when I was involved in presenting the Carole Award to the founder of Bat World in Texas, and there were and I'm sure that happens with many of our in-person presentations. There were a lot of tears of joy and tears of acknowledgement for the extraordinary work done every day. And so please do feel encouraged to at least verbally share your tears as we go on here today. So let's introduce Jackie. Jackie joined Gfas for nearly a dozen years, nearly 10 years now, and leads our Africa Asia programs, both hands-on sanctuary work and webinars, educational programs, capacity building. Prior to joining Gfas, Jackie worked as the executive director of another nonprofit animal welfare organization, where she was involved in all aspects of leading a charity, program development, administration, membership outreach, communications, and the like. She's been on the board of other not-for-profits. Jackie is an attorney, and prior to always being an animal person, but prior to working in the animal protection space, was a lawyer in the Washington, D.C. area in Virginia. Jackie received her bachelor's degree from Harvard, or as we say, and a law degree from Georgetown. And in the last few years, she went back to school to get a master's in a program where you keep your job and you go to school part-time and get a master's degree in the nonprofit management program at Columbia University. And so you can see that Jackie is another one of our slackers here at Gfas. So without further ado, I will pass things on now to Jackie. Hey, Jackie.
Thank you, Alan. I'm honored to present this year's award for Outstanding Wildlife Sanctuary. 2021 has continued to be a challenging year for all of us, and certainly for our sanctuaries. With travel restrictions and new requirements in place and ongoing uncertainty, it's an achievement to complete the transfer of even one new animal to Sanctuary. Yet earlier this year, Animals Asia's China Bear Rescue Center in Chengdu did more than that. It moved 101 moon bears across 750 miles from a former bear bile farming and breeding facility, and it brought them home. This outstanding Sanctuary award is well-deserved. The China Bear Rescue Center was established in the year 2000, the first of Animals Asia's bear sanctuaries. Over the years, it has rescued more than 400 bears. Both the China and Vietnam Bear Rescue Centers became Gfas accredited in 2014, and they continue to embody excellence in animal care, responsible operations and management, and commitment to collaboration. Having worked with Animals Asia over the years, I know the bears in their sanctuaries have a great life. They can choose their friends and how to spend their days, relaxing in the sun in spacious outdoor enclosures, splashing in pools, playing with enrichment. Careful attention is given to their diets and veterinary care. And with this is a strong sense of teamwork and pride, everyone working towards a goal of not only caring for the bears in Sanctuary, but also of raising awareness and changing hearts and minds to move closer to an end to bear bile farming. And without this commitment, the China Bear Rescue Center's move of 101 bears wouldn't have been possible. This was a project 8 years in the making, with many hurdles to overcome, even before the COVID pandemic came into our lives. And during this time, Animals Asia cared for the bears, continuing not only its preparation to bring them to Sanctuary, but also its outreach and work with government authorities, local communities, and others. The details of this move are incredible. Watching the video of one of these bears safe at the China Rescue Center, walking on grass for the very first time, we see what true sanctuary really means. For these bears, it means their home, where they will be seen and respected as individuals and will have the gift of freedom and companionship. We are honored to have with us Animals Asia's founder, Jill Robinson, and China Bear and Vet Team Director, Ryan Sukat, and I think a lot of other Animals Asia team members on the phone as well. So congratulations to all of you for this achievement and for being chosen for this year's Outstanding Wildlife Sanctuary Award.
Thank you, Jackie. I think I was next just to introduce Ryan, really, and just to say, first of all, thank you, Gfas. It's an incredible honour for this award, not just for our China Sanctuary, but of course our sister sanctuary in Vietnam, and of course the whole organisation. This is a win for Animals Asia worldwide, and I think everyone is just about popping with excitement. But Ryan, this is your night tonight. You and our incredible team at the China Bear Rescue Sanctuary, CBRC. I couldn't be more proud of you all. As Jackie has just said, this has been the most remarkable few years in trying to get those nanning bears back. It would be extraordinary enough to transport one bear over 1,000 kilometres, but 101 bears was something else, and you guys absolutely smashed it. And in the middle of COVID too, the last 2 years have been so challenging for you all. And again, on behalf of the entire organisation, we couldn't be more proud. I think our Slack channel is on fire this evening and over the next few days. I'm just wishing you the most extraordinary congratulations for everything that you are and you do. So again, thank you, Gfas. I want to pass this over now to our champion of the day, who represents the most amazing sanctuary in China, Ryan Marcel Sukat.
Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Jill. And Jill, congratulations to you. I mean, this is your honor, and you know how much we respect, admire, and love you, and all that you've done and pioneered for animals across this amazing continent. And so congratulations, Jill, and congratulations, Posados, Safe Haven, and Skydog. You guys look remarkable. And yeah, thank you, Gfas. Thank you, Jackie, Valerie, Robin, and everyone in the Gfas Award Committee for bestowing us with this new but already iconic award. And so it's really difficult to express how much this has meant to us at the China Bear Rescue Center. I think the last year has proven quite intense for most sanctuaries around the world. And so, I think we've all been pushed and pulled and stretched thin. But, we have to persevere for the sake of our animals and the animals in our care. And so winning this really is one of the greatest highlights for our year. So thank you guys. But really, my most profound thanks and my most heartfelt thanks has to go to my team on the ground. It's about 3:40 in the morning, so all but Natalie, our vet nurse, is asleep. So hi, Nat, shout out. And so, I really and merely just represent them today and accept this award on their behalf. But their tenacity and their endurance really is the reason why we were able to achieve what felt unachievable, and especially just being so short-staffed in regards to COVID and our inability to get expats into China. It's just been a really remarkable, exciting, and challenging year. And so we finally got to keep our 8-year promise to over 100 bears that we managed and took care of on an ex-bio farm, which was not an easy feat. It's not fun working on a next bio farm, let me tell you from personal experience. But the fact that we finally pulled through and our work with the government has allowed us to get to this final stage. It's been the most beautiful 5-6 months watching these bears touch grass and start to become bears again and find new friends and companions. And we're just so honored. So now they have a new life, a whole new story, and a whole new sanctuary that they can call home, where they'll never have to worry about being afraid ever again. And so, on behalf of just our bears, every cat and dog we have, and the world's most kind, respectful, courageous, tenacious, and empathetic team, just thank you. And thank you again, Gfas. We're really honored, really, really honored.
Thank you, Jackie and Jill and Ryan. Wonderful. And as anybody who watched any of those videos of the transport of those 101 bears, nothing short of amazing. So thank you for all you do.
Hopefully we'll get clear by the end of the hour. Thank you, Rob. And I will next. Will not reintroduce Jess in just a moment to present our outstanding International Sanctuary of the Year award. I just wanted to reflect briefly on the work that Jill and Ryan and all of your colleagues do with Animals Asia. A number of years ago, I worked for a while at what was then called WISPA, now World Animal Protection, and World Animal Protection has, for a long time had as one of its campaigns the harvesting and the rescue of animals in the bear biofarming trade. And when I first, I thought I had seen a lot of the worst that our species does to animals over the years. And when I learned about bear farming, that even supplanted that. And then learning about the extraordinary work of Jill and colleagues in Animals Asia, and I metaphorically throw rose petals in front of what you do. It speaks to the best in people, and it's wonderful, just wonderful what how those bears now have an opportunity to not be tormented and to be bears. So my respect, and it's an honor to be part of what you do in any way. I will pass things back now to Jess Harris, our Farm Animal Program Director, who will present our Outstanding International Sanctuary of the Year award. Jess?
Happy to be back. Happy to be back to present a very important award to a most deserving organization. At Gfas, we take the G for global seriously. This is because while running a sanctuary is a huge challenge, no matter where you are, there are some parts of the world in which it is even harder. We want to make sure that those sanctuaries are recognized for all they overcome to help animals. That's why this year's Outstanding International Sanctuary Award winner is very special. Since starting the sanctuary in 2006, she has faced numerous challenges, among them a culture and community that did not yet understand the meaning of sanctuary, and legal battles for land and possession of her animals under current government rules. I remember that as they were applying for certification with us, a local, I'll call it pseudo sanctuary, so not a real one, had been busted for severe neglect and cruelty by the authorities. Because the meaning of sanctuary is already foreign in Colombia, it made government officials wary of transferring those animals to another sanctuary. Certifying Juliana's was particularly meaningful to us because with that approval, they gained the trust of local authorities to take those animals in need. That was a moment when the meaning of true sanctuary could not have been more important. In a recent blog post, one of their staff explained, most Colombians have grown up in a context of oppression and mistreatment of animals. Being a rural culture for the most part, the treatment that is given by humans to the animals is of merchandise and possession. Still, we have started to see a change in the younger generations and are now much more aware of the mistakes we have been making. Despite all of this, Juliana's Animal Sanctuary is the first farm animal sanctuary in South America and now the first South American farm sanctuary to be certified by Gfas. They have been saving and rehabilitating over 700 animals for 15 years, and they're not stopping there. Quoting from one of many nominations, Juliana's has spearheaded 3 educational programs and inspired 3 other sanctuaries in that region to become active. Additionally, as of just this week, Juliana has shared the incredible news that they have officially purchased a new property 4 times bigger to expand the sanctuary. We could not be happier for their incredible success and for helping animals despite the hardest of odds. Congratulations to Juliana's Animal Sanctuary in Colombia, the 2021 Outstanding International Sanctuary of the Year.
Thank you so much. While I was hearing the description of the sanctuaries before we were there, I was feeling like this is not the right place for me to be here. These people is amazing. I'm not that amazing. We are not that amazing. Because when I was 11 years old is when I decide I want to have a big place to save animals. In that moment, the word sanctuary was not common in my country, and it's people like all you who inspire me. I follow everyone. I make calls. I interviews to learn from people like all you. And I want to say what is happening in this part of the world is thanks to people like you, to amazing people like everyone here. You all inspire me, and you are the ones who help me to save all the animals that we are helping in this part of the world. So I'm I don't know if I deserve, but I'm very proud of be part of this, and thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Jessica, and thank you, Juliana, for all your hard work in sometimes very challenging conditions. And we are just as you are proud, very very proud of you and the work that you're doing on behalf of all the animals. One more time, I think back to Alan because we are on to our final award, the Gfas Carole Noon Award.
Last and not least is the Carole Noon Award, and I also reflect, Juliana, your and your colleagues, what you've done is extraordinary, and your humility as well is impressive. So I'm honored to be part of an awards presentation where Juliana's has gotten the Outstanding Sanctuary, the Outstanding International Sanctuary of the Year award, and when I the cruelty towards many animals and towards farmed animals by the numbers in particular is an issue around the world. And in my home country, United States, we we are as bad, if not worse, as anyone else. And so, but the challenge to get a farmed animal sanctuary up and running in Colombia, and I honor and respect the folks that have done that in the United States and elsewhere. And Kathy Stevens, our award winner last year for Carole Noon, is one of those people that's extraordinary and crazy difficult. And then when I think about doing what you've done in Colombia with some other kinds of issues, it's so I'm just overflowing in my respect for what you've done, and it's very well deserved. Um, so to Carole Noon. Dr. Carole Noon is a PhD primatologist who's the founder of Save the Chimps in Florida, and it's a extraordinary woman and a visionary, a combination of kindness and compassion and determination and vision, um, and passed way too young an age from a terrible illness. In 2009, Gfas decided to both honor Dr. Noon in her memory and honor each year an individual who best reflects the combination of uh, vision and care and compassion and determination to protect animals in need, and hence our Carole Noon Award. So the award will be presented this year, along with Valerie RED, by Kathy Stevens, who was the award recipient last year. And Kathy is someone that I've also been honored to know a little bit, and is the founder um, and director of Catskill Animal Sanctuary in New York, in the United States, a sanctuary I've been pleased to have been able to visit and speak at, and also stay in the bed and breakfast there as well. And Kathy is somebody that I have crazy respect for. And so we'll now pass things on to Kathy and Valerie to present our Carole Noon Award winner for this year, for 2021. So Kathy, Val.
Thanks, Alan. Hey, Val, how are we tag teaming here?
You go ahead, Kathy. I'm so glad to have you here as, of course, our 2020 recipient of the Carole Noon Award, and on behalf of Catskill Animal Sanctuary and all the wonderful work that you do there as well. So I'm going to pass it to you to pass the torch to the 2021 award recipient.
Happy to do it. And let me just start by saying I like to speak from the heart in moments like this, but there was so much information. The scope of what Arcus and Anna do was too much for me to commit to memory. So I just want to say, before I begin to read what I wrote, that I am profoundly moved by not only the vision, but the incredible courage of Arcus and of Anna Bryant. So Arcus was established in 1989 by Guatemalan citizens who were alarmed at the decline in wildlife populations due to trafficking. Today, it's one of the largest rescue organizations in the world, operating programs out of 3 locations: Hawaii, Guatemala City, and somebody correct my pronunciation, Payten? What's the pronunciation?
It's Patin.
Patin? Say it again. Patin. And Patin, located on the edge of the 13 million acre Mayan forest, the second largest remaining tropical rainforest in the Americas. Arcus runs a lot of programs, but they're all aimed at preservation of the region's abundant wildlife, which is under siege not only from trafficking, but from deforestation and other human-centered threats. At the Patin Rescue Center, over 40 species. I cannot imagine what that must be like. 40 species are cared for: parrots, jaguars, monkeys, crocodiles, so many more, in a rehab and release program that serves up to 600 animals a year. Arcus was the first center to release captive-born endangered scarlet macaws into the skies. It was a culmination of their captive breeding and release program. And in Guatemala City and Hawaii, their efforts are focused on sea turtle, mangrove, and other conservation work. the only Gfas accredited organization in Guatemala, and one of the most outstanding rescue and rehab centers in all of Central America. Gfas is, of course, delighted to recognize Arcus's excellence. Meanwhile, Anna is a biologist at Arcus. For over a decade, she's raised orphaned animals confiscated from the illegal wildlife trade. Whether she's monitoring each animal's physical and emotional health or ensuring that protocols are followed to maximize each animal's chance of release, she makes sure that animal welfare and respect come first. Among the many programs she has established are an enrichment program focused on teaching important survival skills and a program for jaguars in sanctuary aimed at reducing the stress of medical checkups. Anna coordinates the volunteer program and at the center lectures to vet students on the importance of enrichment, something we talk about here all the time, safety, and humane animal management. Her international lectures focus on ethology and the illegal wildlife trade. Anna's commitment to wildlife is demonstrated in her work to strengthen nearly every aspect of Arcus's programs. Her updated infant rearing protocols, behavioral studies, and post-release monitoring have led to an accumulation of data that will influence the survival rate of Guatemalan wildlife for years to come. My goodness, well done. Carole Noon would be at least as proud as all at Gfas and Catskill Animal Sanctuary are to present the 2021 Carole Noon Award to Anna Bryant of Arcus. Anna, congratulations, bravo, and on behalf of all the two-legged and two- and four-legged whom you serve, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so very much to Gfas and for this honor. It's completely unexpected. It still kind of doesn't feel real. It's throwing me a little bit, to be honest. And especially after seeing all these other people, all these other rescue sanctuaries around the world and the incredible work that all of you guys do. It's just incredible, especially like repeating what Juliana said, is you kind of blown away to be in this sort of group. So thank you so much. I'm so lucky to have found myself in this position here at Arcus, coming to Guatemala on a whim from New Zealand almost 11 years ago, thinking I'd stay to volunteer for 6 weeks and then just never leaving. It's been so incredible, and Arcus has been incredible for me, and especially the staff at the centre in Petén, with the director Fernando giving me so much trust in my abilities and letting me have a lot of free reign with the projects and visions that we can do has just been an incredible experience, and let me be able to grow in ways I've never be able to in other situations. But obviously anyone that works with wildlife or with animals, you're always in situations sometimes where they can be quite dangerous or even life-threatening, and you need to have that support team. You need to have that trust, because you are literally putting your life in their hands sometimes. And it's an incredible team that we do have here, that we trust each other to be able to have our backs, because we also all know that we're working towards the same goal, and that's to have these animals be free again. There's obviously a lot of ups and downs, and Ryan, you mentioned it a little bit with the last year and a half with COVID. Has been especially difficult. I don't think any animal sanctuary or centre has been unscarred by all the repercussions of the pandemic, and so we all seem to struggle with not only physical health but mental health as well. And compassion fatigue is definitely a really, really real issue in anyone that deals with animals. And so I'm incredibly lucky to have my partner, who's hiding beside me, who is a veterinarian, Alejandro, at the centre as well. So we've been able to pick each other up, because you will have those animals or those cases that you just put your heart and soul into, and if they don't make it, that can break you. And so you need that support, and you can't do these things by yourself. You have to have those people to lift you back up again and say, look at the bigger picture. You can move on and help these animals, because that's what it comes down to. What we're all here for is for the animals. And we see so many here coming through with the illegal wildlife trade. We see hundreds coming through, and so much of them are through people's ignorance, through selfishness, through ego of wanting to have this incredible wild animal as a pet, to own, to have as a sort of as property. And it means they're stolen from the wild. Their mothers are killed, their families are killed, and they go through this most incredible traumatic experience. And it's people's fault that they're in captivity, and it should be people's responsibility to give them that second chance, that hope that they can be free again. And that's what we do here. And I'm so lucky to be part of it. Thank you so much again, Gfas. It's just incredible. I'm still, like I said, I'm a little bit blown away. It's a bit surreal. But not only for this, but for the incredible work that you do all around the world for animals, and for providing this platform so that we can see that we're not alone in our fight, and that centres and sanctuaries, we can all fight together to help give these animals a better life and a better place for themselves here. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you to both Kathy for presenting, and thank you to Anna and all of your hard work, and to the entire team at Arcus Guatemala. Certainly, when you look at the past Carole Noon Award winners, it really reads like a roster of all of the titans of the animal welfare and sanctuary world. And we are just ecstatic and so proud to add Anna and Arcus to those ranks, to that list. So thank you again. I just want to thank everyone once again for joining us today. Thank you, of course, to our Gfas board and staff, the award committee, and the past award recipients for your participation in making this process happen. Of course, thank you also to our Gfas supporters, because the generosity of those individuals, of course, enables Gfas to continue our work of recognizing, supporting, and bringing together true sanctuaries.
Thank you, Valerie. I'll briefly close things out. It's again an honor. I think for me the word namaste, which I believe comes from the Hindu or Buddhist tradition in India, which is best translated to in the English to I bow to you, is the word that is resonating in my mind right now after getting to virtually meet Anna and hear and learn about what she's done at Arcus and the 4 outstanding sanctuary awards and their leadership and staff. It's just a crazy great experience to be able to be a small part of this. So I do bow to all of you, and it's onward. Thank you, everyone. It's been a wonderful hour, and we at Gfas are delighted to have a chance to acknowledge some of the great work that happens on behalf of animals around the world.